If the internet, the tool that allowed this community to come together and become a potent political force, is under the control of corporate elites, then the Netroots can't exist. The progressive movement can't exist. Democracy as we know it can't exist. And it's not just about politics. After all, the internet is more than just the foundation of the community we progressives have built. It's an incredible source of innovation, a hotbed of creativity, and an unbelievable producer of jobs and wealth. Its value comes from the fact that it's open to everyone. YouTube began in a little office above a pizzeria in San Mateo. It was a good idea. Today it's worth billions of dollars. Twitter was dreamed up during a brainstorming session at a little podcasting company. It was a good idea. How many people here use Twitter today? How many people are following me? I'm at Al Franken. How many people are tweeting this speech right now? Thanks to the free and open internet, innovations that change our lives come from anyone, anywhere, anytime. Imagine if what is happening with television, where an independent producer can't get a show on the air unless the network owns at least a piece of it, were to happen with the internet. There would be no next YouTube or Twitter. There would be only what the R&D departments at those few mega conglomerates could invent and profit from. The internet developed at the taxpayer's expense to benefit the public interest would become just a series of tubes through which money can flow into the pockets of private corporations. Instead of a tool for creative innovation and political activism, it would be an instrument of corporate control and conservative propaganda. I don't know what the next great idea will be. Maybe it will be an open source system for organizing electronic medical records that will save money and lives. Maybe it will be some kind of Dig Foursquare hybrid that I won't understand at all. But I can't imagine what life in America would be like if this kind of innovation couldn't take place. The Comcast-NBC merger is the first domino. If it falls, the rest will soon follow. It's almost too late to stop this from happening, but not quite. The government has a role to play here. The government can mitigate the influence of corporate money on our elections. We have the Disclose Act. The government can pass rules to protect net neutrality. The government can stop mergers like NBC Comcast, or at least put strict, rigorous conditions on them. But first, the government has to be made to act. And I can tell you firsthand that the government, the White House, the FCC, my fellow members of Congress, is hearing plenty from the corporations on the other side of these issues, and not nearly enough from you. If you want to protect the free flow of information in this country and all that depends on it, you have to help me fight this. Help me fight this. When I bug you about going to MidwestValuesPact.org and joining me, it's because the kind of grassroots movement that allows senators like me to fight on issues like these depends on people like you. Resisting this trend toward media consolidation, resisting attacks on net neutrality, we should throw ourselves behind these causes with the same energy and urgency that we showed in 2006 and 2008. We are at a dangerous moment. We are at a dangerous moment in our history. We have the worst long-term employment since they started keeping the statistic. Our climate is changing. Did I mention that? And we're more vulnerable to total corporate control of our lives than ever before. I know some of you are tired. I know some of you are frustrated. But when this movement grows so strong that it could change the trajectory of history, we assume not only power, but also responsibility. If we don't rise to this challenge, no one else will. Even if the only reason you started blogging or canvassing or donated was that you couldn't stand President Bush or really wanted single-payer health care, you are now a key part of a generational struggle that will determine whether the American dream survives for our kids and our grandkids, or whether they're going to live in a country defined by corporate control of our politics and our lives. Sorry. You know, to lay that on you. But we don't fight these battles because it's easy. We do it because we believe that our ideas have power, our values are right, and our country is worth it. We don't do it alone either, do we? We have each other. We have each other. And that's why I love Netroots Nation.